This video will provide an overview on how to format sources for notes and bibliography following the Chicago Manual of Style. This system includes notes, whether footnote or endnote, which are usually numbered and correspond to a superscript note number in the text. Since the source information is somewhat removed from the text narration, it provides the reader with a more streamlined reading experience while still providing indicators or information about the original source. Unless including a bibliography, full source information should be provided in the notes. For the purposes of this presentation, we'll be formatting all examples to mimic inclusion of both notes and bibliography. A bibliography includes all work cited in the notes. Some instructors may provide instructions to also include consulted or related sources, even if they're not directly cited or referenced in the text. Entries for bibliography should be listed alphabetically with the name of the first author inverted and the main elements of the source separated by periods. The basic structure for notes lists the author, title, facts of publication, and location information. The elements in notes are typically separated by commas, while the facts of publication are enclosed in parentheses. Author names are presented in standard order. Titles are capitalized in headline style, which capitalizes the first and last words of the titles and subtitles, along with any major words. Titles should either be formatted in italics for larger works such as books or journals, while smaller works such as chapters or articles are enclosed in quotation marks. When providing additional context for elements such as editors, translators, volume, or edition, these terms should be abbreviated. Notes are also numbered consecutively, starting with 1 throughout each article, assignment, or chapter. A superscript number will appear in the text at the end of a clause or sentence, which allows the reader to identify the corresponding note with the full source identification information. Notes should include location indicators, whether paraphrasing, summarizing, or quoting directly from the source. It allows the reader to locate the information in the original source. For text sources, it will usually be a page number or page range. When a page number is not available, provide other location indicators to make it easy for the reader to locate the information. This might look like including a section, chapter, or paragraph number, or any other applicable location information. The basic structure of a bibliography follows similar formatting as notes with some minor differences. While a bibliography typically includes the author, title, and fact of publication, these elements are separated by periods. The first author listed is inverted with the last name first. The entries on the bibliography are listed in alphabetical order, and when there are sources that include editors, translators, edition, or other descriptions, the verb forms of these terms are spelled out while the noun is abbreviated. Depending on the source type, some of the publication information and other elements may differ. This table breaks down the typical elements included in the most common source types used in academic or scholarly works. Electronic resources will usually include a URL, database, or DOI. This table breaks down the typical elements included in the additional source types that might be used in academic works. For multimedia sources such as television or podcasts, you might be citing a portion of the larger whole, such as a single episode, so the episode title or number should be provided, along with the series title. It's common when citing websites or web pages from organizations that they take the place of an author. Therefore, the website title may be omitted if it's the same name. Chicago Style does make a distinction in formatting depending on the number of authors or creators. When a work includes 2 to 3 authors, all authors should be included in the note using commas and the word "and" separating the last 2 authors. For the bibliography, only the first author's name should be inverted, while the other authors follow the standard order of first name followed by last or surname. When a work contains 4 or more authors, only the first author's name is included in the note, followed by "at all." All authors should be listed in the bibliography with just the first author's name inverted. Sources with 10 or more authors, only the first 7 are listed in the bibliography, followed by "at all." When a group, company, or organization is credited as author, use the group's name in place of authors. The examples on the screen show how to format both notes and bibliography sources. The notes are numbered and would correspond to the appropriate superscript number within the text. The first line of the note is indented 1/2 inch from the margin. Subsequent lines are formatted flush with the margin. Where applicable, the edited work is noted with ED, following the editor's name. Titles are in italics and the publication information is enclosed in parentheses. Additionally, location information is included with the note, providing either exact page number or a page range. The bibliography has been organized with the author's names inverted and placed in alphabetical order. Parentheses are not used and the elements are separated by periods. Furthermore, any additional lines are indented 1/2 inch from the margins. The examples on this slide show how multiple authors in the same source type might alter the elements included. The first source with 3 authors includes all authors' names in the notes. The second note is a source with 4 or more authors, so only the first author is listed, followed by et al. The bibliography inverts the first author for each source and provides all authors for the source with 4 authors. This slide shows various source types and what elements would be included. The first note is a journal article. The article title appears in quotation marks followed by the journal title in italics. The volume and issue number are noted, month and year of publication are placed in parentheses, followed by the page location for the information cited. Since this article was accessed online, the DOI is provided, which is preferred over using the URL as it appears in the browser. The second note is a chapter from a book. Similar to a journal article, the book chapter is enclosed with quotation marks followed by book title in italics. The editors are also listed with their role abbreviated followed by publication information in parentheses. The last element included is a page number. The third source is a web page. This website is authored by an organization, so they are credited as the author. Since the organization is also the name of the website name is not repeated. Since no publication date is provided, an access date is indicated. Access date would not be necessary if the web page provides a publication date. The fourth source is an online newspaper article. This differs slightly from a journal article because a full date is provided and the article's URL. Source number 5 is a streaming video. In this example, the director is listed as author and their role is indicated. The title of the film appears in italics followed by production company, year of publication, and length of film. The platform is listed in italics followed by a URL. The sources on this slide correspond to the notes listed on the previous slide. The sources have been updated to invert the first author and reordered in alphabetical order. The first source, a chapter from a book, has been altered and is using the verb form of an edited work, and the page range of the chapter has been added. The second source is a journal article, and the page range of the article has been added. The remaining 3 sources didn't experience any elemental changes, but formatting the inverted authors and punctuation were changed to align with the necessary format for bibliographies. Once a full source is provided in notes, subsequent notes should be shortened. Typically, the last name of the author or authors, main title of the work, and a location indicator is provided. Any main titles longer than 4 words should be shortened. If the paper does not include a bibliography, then shortened notes should not be utilized. There may be instances when the same source is used consecutively. Then the note should be shortened even further by omitting the title. The examples show a shortened note, assuming full source information has already been provided previously in the document. Notes 2 through 4 are the shortened version of the same source. The Chicago Manual of Style online was consulted for this presentation. Access is available to all USC students, staff, and faculty. USC Libraries recommends consulting the manual for further text and source formatting that was not covered during this presentation. If you have questions, access the Ask Us page by visiting libraries.usc.edu/ask.